We're going.
Hello, everyone.
We're live. Hello.
It is us, Topadoes,
Welcome.
Media Junkies.
Topadoes, Media Junkie. Welcome home.
At you again.
That's right. We're here.
Another day, another podcast.
That's right. A couple of things.
Start off with, what do you want to start off with today?
Well, the big things I really wanted to talk about is, first, the big controversy with Gran Turismo. I know you don't really know what's going on, but I'm going to lay it on you.
And then there's also some controversy with Rockstar going on, too.
You're right.
So we'll stick that in.
There's a couple of controversies going on. Rockstar, Gran Turismo, the Hogwarts Legacy controversy going on.
Man, everything more to the pile.
Can't we just get along?
Can't it just all be goodness?
It's almost like humans are pieces of shit.
Yeah, I can see that.
So
what do you got?
Also, we got at least 3 games coming out this weekend. Tonight. Yeah, tonight. We got Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
Ghostwire Tokyo.
Ghostwire Tokyo, and we have Kirby's
Forgotten Land.
Yeah, and the Forgotten Land. Yeah, get it right, Charlie. So where do you want to start off?
Let's talk about the controversies first, then we'll talk about what we've been playing, and then we'll go into the actual stories.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
So let me lay it down here on the Gran Turismo.
Yeah, I haven't heard about Gran Turismo yet. Or I've heard some things, but I don't think you got some more for me.
I've got a lot written down here. Like, it's quite a bit. And so the first thing I want to say is I've been playing it. Okay,
so you have been playing.
I've been weaning down off of Elden Ring. I would love to actually keep playing it and, like, you know, really keep sinking my teeth into it. But at the end of the day, I need to branch out,
play other things
because we really need to do some. You know, I need to get to other games so I can tell you what I think about them.
Yeah.
I'll still be playing Elden Ring. Don't get me wrong. I got a bunch of stuff to do left in that game. But I need to start playing other things.
How is Gran Turismo?
Gran Turismo, as a game, is amazing. Like, the driving...
Because you say you like racing games.
I love racing games.
Which I didn't realize originally, but...
I love racing games. I don't play a lot of them nowadays because, I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of them are crap. Like, I'm not going to buy into it.
Do you prefer more sim racing like this, or do you prefer more like...
I kind of like them all.
Okay,
like,
so
the only sim racing that I really enjoy is the Gran Turismo, and that's because they've really fine-tuned a lot of the, like, sim racing thing. But I really like arcadey racing games. Need for Speed used to be amazing. There's some that are, like, really good, and there's some that have come out that are like, they're alright, you know? I love the Burnout games. Those are amazing. Mario Kart is one of my all-time favorite racing games ever. So I kind of like all racing games. So, Gran Turismo 7. It plays great. Like, the actual driving is amazing. I like the way that they've kept to doing, like, the tuning of your cars. It's really nice.
You guys, the graphics are beautiful.
Graphics are amazing. That it feels great on the controller. I really like this time around.
Adaptive triggers?
Well, yes, but it works in a sense that, like, when you're taking a turn, you don't have to full throttle it all the time. You can kind of just, like, slightly pull the trigger a little bit.
And you get that.
And you're only throttling it so much so you can still have some speed on the turn.
Do you get any resist in the braking? Like,
so depending on what kind of brakes you're using, I haven't been able to branch out with, because when you tune your car, there are, like, multiple layers of, like, you have to unlock certain, like, better tuning, like, later on, to do, like, to how much collective cars you have. It's like a weird unlock situation they have. But depending on the brakes that you have, and the car that you're using, you'll definitely feel a little bit more of a, resistance. It's not crazy. Like, it's not
that whole, like...
I don't think they wanted to make it where it was really gonna, like, hurt your finger braking all the time, because the difference between sim racing and your arcadey racing, like, Need for Speed, is that you're gonna need to brake a lot. Like, you can't just... unless you're a crazy man like me, like, literally last night, I'm playing a match, and I was a little bit slower than the first place person. So I knew that if I was on a straightaway, I was going to lose that battle, right? So I was like, last turn, I need to make this count. Like, I need to get ahead of them. And I was already behind. So normally what you do in a normal sim racing game is you would let off the gas a little bit, like a little bit before you hit the turn, and then you, like, pad the brake a little bit, right? So you could take the turn without you skidding off to the side. But what I do is I use the car ahead of me as a backboard. So I just fucking rammed right into him, taking the corner at a very, very fast speed, and I shouldn't have. But I knew I needed to make up that difference, right?
And
So
did it get you the victory?
I got me the win, and I'll tell you, it was hilarious because I didn't know that it was gonna do this, but I almost rolled my car. Like, I literally, in that turn, when I hit him and I was turning, my car went up onto 2 wheels. And just as I beat him in, because he was coming up behind me on the straightaway, I beat him in less than half a second. Like, there was that much time in between us. So, it was great. Like, it feels good driving. I really like the gameplay of it, okay? But here's...
So then what's the controversy? Sounds like you're having a good time.
So, hold on. Basically, it comes down to greedy fucks. And
as it typically does in games.
There's two levels of this, right? So when the game was being reviewed, none of this was in it.
Really?
They put this in
post review.
This was an update that they put into it after the fact. And this is where a lot of people are upset. Because if you're going to be a greedy fuck, then, okay, up front, we get it, right? Yeah. Be blatant with it. Like, at least we know going in...
What you're going for.
Right. Don't let me buy the game.
And then all of a sudden be like, oh, greedy stuff's added post.
Yeah. Because... Okay, so let me just break it down for you, because there's quite a bit here. Alright, so, they increased the grind by quite a bit. Like, to get one of the top tier cars, it would take you roughly about 18 hours. And
that's for one car?
That breaks down into about 330 different races. 33 different races. Pre-patch, that would have been 10 hours to get that car.
8 hours.
It's an extra 8 hours.
It's almost double the time.
It's a little ridiculous. So, and to buy, because, like, you can also buy cars with real money, right?
Of course.
And now, I know other people have broken down, like, from Gran Turismo Sport and, like, 5, like, how much you used to be able to buy. I know somebody was saying, like, you used to be able to buy a specific car for $3, right? But now if you were to buy that same car here, it's, like, $10, $15. But they make it so, like, let's say a car would cost this many credits, right? And it's a little bit more than the credits that you can buy.
So you got to buy the pack plus the next
right. So like $10 would get you this many credits. It's not enough for your car, so you have to buy 12. The $20 one to get you.
Or you to buy that one plus the cheapest.
Yeah. So there's that, right? Like the most expensive car, like with real money, is like $200. $200, Charlie, for a video game car.
This is bordering on NFT territory. I can see them wanting to like implement NFTs into it, and then this is their base for it.
And it's bullshit because A, it's after the fact, right? And B, what they said is that they wanted it to reflect real life pricing of cars. Now, excuse me, but when I'm playing a video game, I'm not here to be in the real life. I don't have to spend that much time like to get a car that I'm never going to be able to get in real life.
Now, is this all online too?
That's the other thing.
So it's pay to win, isn't it?
Well, here's the thing. The game does not work offline. You can't even play your solo campaign offline. All of it is online only.
I know that they're trying to do games of services for different games, like Destiny style.
Yeah.
But certain games you don't need to do stuff like that for.
Sony, I think last year was talking about really kind of investing in a lot more online service
that's
games.
Why they bought Bungie.
Right, exactly.
Because they are so good at it that they're not buying Bungie because they want Destiny. They're buying it because they have all the knowledge of doing this style of game.
Right.
That being said, you don't want every game to do live service models like this.
No.
Like,
it hurts you.
Is this individual races, or do you drive around on the map? It's individual races.
They're individual races.
Yeah, for stuff like for Horizon, Forza Horizon. Mm-hmm. That makes sense if it was that type of game because it's a big open world.
Right, and you can see other players driving around. So I can understand
tying it to that. This is individual races. This doesn't make any sense.
No, like you actually have like a game hub that you go into and choose the races that you go into. You have to have like specific cars for specific races. That's always the Gran Turismo thing, right? Like you have to have like certain licenses for like, that's just what you normally get. But the fact that you have to be online to play it is bullshit because this is what happens, right? So basically for about a 30-hour period, the servers went down because in the patch that they fucked us in, Apparently, there was some coding that possibly could damage people's save data.
Huh, good job.
So they went down for 30 hours, and this is like the week of the game coming out.
Yeah.
People couldn't even play the game solo.
So the game you spent
The
money
only
on.
thing that you could do is what they have another mode. I forget what they call it. It's actually kind of fun. They have it's like a song that plays, right? And you have to get through certain checkpoints.
Through as the song.
Like you're on a map, but as the song goes, the checkpoints kind of get further and further. But you have to like keep the timer going like throughout the entire song. It's kind of fun. It's you just kind of just being better on that map.
Yeah, it's not your.
But that's not the game.
Yeah,
You
that's
can't.
not what you spent money for.
Right. You can't progress on the game. So it's bullshit. And that I'm not done. There's more.
But that's like making a fighting game and being like, sorry, it's online only.
Yeah.
Like a side-scrolling fighting game, Marvel vs. Capcom. You got to be online only to play.
Yeah. It's dumb. So not only have they done all of that, right? This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, for God's
They
sake.
also, in that patch, lowered the payouts for the individual races that you win. So you get less money. Like I was just looking at one where something used to be like a $65,000 credit payout, right? Is now a $40,000 credit payout. So the grind is increased here.
I'm getting a lot of Star Wars Battlefront 2 vibes, where it was like, oh, if you want Darth Vader, you got to play like either a ton of hours, or you got to buy it for like, or you got to spend money to try to get him unlocked.
Yeah, and here's the other kicker too. You can't sell your cars. Every other, to my knowledge, every other Gran Turismo that I remember, you could sell your cars for credit, right? And if you're gonna reflect like real world things, like in car pricing,
you want to value it.
I should be able to sell my cars, especially doubles, like because you win a lot of cars, right? And you end up not needing to use them, like they're like.
So you just have double of the same car.
You'll have double of the same car, but what I'm saying is like you'll have these like lower end cars that I'm just not really interested in having, and I already have a car that's very similar to it. Because the way it works is like at the very beginning they have this thing called menus, and it's basically you go to this quote unquote like cafe thing, and it'll be like, oh, go do these races and you'll unlock the let's say the Japanese compact cars, and there'll be like 3 cars that when you win the race, you win one of them, and then you go to another one, you win the other one, but they're all the Japanese compact car, right? You don't need 3 different Japanese compact cars.
Yeah.
You can just have one and use that as for whatever the race you need to use the Japanese compact car for, right? So why can't I just sell the other ones?
Yeah.
Every other Gran
some
Turismo has
money.
been able to sell it and make the money that you need to buy the other cars, right? So that being said, oh, and here's the other kicker too, and apparently it's been proven. I haven't checked, but where I was reading, they checked, and on the PlayStation 4 for the actual Gran Turismo like page, it says buy, tune, and sell your way through solo campaign as you unlock new cars and challenges. So yeah, no, that was a fucking lie.
Or maybe they had it at one point and they just removed it. Oh, we need to make money from them. So.
I'm hoping, because what's happening right now, they're being review bombed on Metacritic, as a lot of people have started to do nowadays. It's just actually the lowest review Metacritic game ever in history, and it's sitting at...
Is this an EA game?
No, it's Sony.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, is this an EA game? EA game? It might be.
Sounds some EA stuff right
Right
here.
now, as of today, I checked, is at a 1.5. That's abysmal.
That is pretty...
For
pretty bad.
a
And that's
Sony...
out of 10 or out of 5?
Yeah, out of 10, like your
Oh.
usual, like, rating system. 1.5 out of 10. That's not good. Come on, Sony. Like, I don't expect this from Sony.
Yeah, no.
Like, I know that they've gotten a little bit more greedy over the time, but this is like
Actually, it's not even them, though. Like, I'm trying to think of any other Sony game that's done stuff like this, and...
It boggles my mind, because Gran Turismo is one of the quintessential...
Yeah, it's the original flagship of the
Yeah.
PlayStation.
Why are you doing this? Like, this should be the game that brings everyone to your console, especially with Microsoft right now,
Yeah.
really putting the heat on PlayStation to make sure that their exclusives are solid.
Yeah, and especially with, like, Forza Horizon being as great as it was.
Yeah.
The most recent one, you would think that Sony would be like, all right, we got to make sure our one racing game, they have the corner on racing right now. Let's give a competitor.
What are you doing? Like, I don't know. I sound very passionate about this, and that's because I am.
That's because of that list. I would understand why.
This is a huge list. I should have, if anything, if there were any controversies, like 1 or 2 things to say. Right.
The worst thing to me is like, if you can make arguments for a few of the other things, all right, microtransactions, you want to have cards valued as much more, whatever. That's still grimy and, why am I spending extra on a nice card? Like, come on, just stop.
I don't want to
Especially if
have
it's pay
to
to win.
spend real world money
But
on
doing all this post review
Yeah,
is
that's
the most
what
egregious
really-
thing to me.
that is because not only does it hurt reviewers,
Yeah, because why didn't you tell us about any of
Yeah.
this? It wasn't there.
because now they have to make a second video saying, "Oh,
Oh, by the way, these scums add all this stuff.
which I guess if you think about it, that makes them more revenue anyway, because then they have another video to talk about things.
True,
but
still,
at the
man.
same time, it looks bad for
Yeah, it
them,
could hurt their credibility if they're
Yeah.
like, oh, this is a great game, go out and buy it. It's going to be amazing.
right? And people like ACG, and I talk about him a lot with reviewing. He doesn't really do any sponsorships. He's really just a guy who's really passionate about video games, and when he reviews them, like, nobody's like sponsoring him, so it's all like non-sponsored bullshit, and it's just like he's not gonna be saying anything that someone told him to.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And like he had to go back and tell everyone, like, hey, like this is what's going on.
Yeah, it's just so you know.
Yeah. And he was upset about it. So, but yeah, that is basically what it comes down to
Which
with
is-
Gran Turismo.
Which is
I'm
funny
a little
'cause that's so
upset
low.
because I like the game.
Yeah.
I'm having a lot of fun actually playing the game.
Now, if only they didn't make stupid decisions to bring the enjoyment level down, it would have
Yeah.
been great.
Yeah, it would have been.
Just like I heard that a bunch of people are also review bombing Grand Theft Auto.
Tell me a little bit more about that, because
Um,
I didn't hear about this.
I only saw a briefing thing before I came on here, but apparently people have been review bombing the the PS5 and the Xbox Series XS versions, the newest ones. Apparently, according to people, it's not substantial. I mean, this is a whole problem of like the last new game they came out with was in like 2013, so it's been many years since they popped out a new game in the Grand Theft Auto series, and they keep pumping it out. A lot of people are very unhappy with the amount of changes to the cost of it. Like right now, you can get it for a reduced price at like $20 for the first couple months, and then it's going to go up to $40.
Really?
Yeah,
After all this time?
yeah. So, and then people are looking at the quality of the updates themselves. They're like, this isn't really all that great. No. And I've heard they've been review bombing it. I think it was at like a 3-point something last I saw. But this also doesn't look good on the fact that, one, you haven't released any new Grand Theft Autos in a long time. That trilogy you just released not too long ago
Was absolute dog shit.
didn't turn out so great. And then they even removed the old versions of the game when the remake of the trilogy came out. So that's the only real way you can play it now, unless you had an old version.
No, I think they backtracked on that.
Oh, they did go back?
Yeah.
Thank God, because that was real bad.
I think they unlocked it again, so you can actually go back and play.
But
the
yeah,
original.
so all of these things adding up, they did say they're working on Grand Theft Auto 6. Well, guess what? If you want to do any kind of damage control, you better start showing something.
Better start showing some face, because
Yeah, it's not looking good. Come on now. I mean, yes, you made Red Dead. Oh, and that's another thing. A ton of people are mad because Red Dead Redemption Online hasn't been really touched all that much, and they think that it was because of them putting out they were updating the version of the PS5 and the Xbox Series X version of Grand Theft Auto. They think they're putting more of their time into that because they know they're getting money from that rather than working on the game, the most recent game. Red Dead's technically their most recent game.
Yeah.
And they're not putting work into that. They're putting into that work the old ass game just so
Which
they can make more money.
Red Dead Online needed work.
Yeah.
It needed work.
And it just like not even like work, like just content.
Yeah.
Like come on, like
If you're gonna be an online service content like that, you need
come on, just stop remaking the same game.
that. I mean, that's never gonna happen with
Yeah,
Rockstar.
no.
They have like 3 IPs that they like.
I mean,
continually.
I don't mind like new versions, but come out with a new one in the entry.
Yeah.
Like even if they came out with a Grand Theft Auto top-down version, like a temporary thing, like go like the old school style Grand Theft Auto.
Kind of cool, like a
Remember
smaller game.
Remember 1 and 2? How it was top
yeah,
down.
I remember.
Come out with like they did that with the Liberty City. There's like a little game way back in the day that made like a little top-down like throwback. Just make one of those like as a holdover, and guess what? You can say, "Oh,"
And you could probably have a very small team work on that
Yeah.
and be fine.
I mean, you could do better than you did with the trilogy remake with having your AI generated stuff.
Oh
So
my god. Yeah. So I mean, was that it with the?
that's all. Like I want to look a little more into it before I come out here and start saying more stuff. I want to take a quick few more looks
Before
around.
you start hate speeching
Yeah.
the Grand Theft Auto.
But why is it always something? And then that's not even all the controversies.
No, talking about hate speech.
Yeah.
So
right after we done the Hogwarts video,
yeah,
I was looking online and I'm like listening to some other podcasts, listening to some other people, and I'm like, not a lot of people are talking about this. I wonder why. And then listened to it, and I remembered, oh yeah, there's always controversy around that too because of the person who wrote it.
So Hogwarts Legacy has come under fire for some things, and it's not even them.
Yeah, it's not their.
It's the Harry Potter in general because
the
of
IP
J.K.
of them.
Yeah, because J.K. Rowling just
not the best of people.
She should never have been allowed on Twitter.
Yeah, the thing she says. Sometimes I think it's just to get like attention, but
the thing is, okay. So to break it down, she's made some very transphobic remarks. Like
yes.
I'm talking like really, really bad takes on things.
Like stop talking.
I don't even want to mention it here because it's abysmal. Like to be no, like
and it sucks because she has such a high platform to speak from.
I know
because of how big her thing was.
It really bothers me because I like Harry Potter a lot.
Yeah.
And I hate that she feels this way.
That's the worst thing was when you have something that you like and it's like, oh, by the way, this person was terrible.
Yeah.
And it's worse so now than like if it's a past work. Like I like H.P. Lovecraft. I love Lovecraftian stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's a racist.
Yeah. Yes, he was.
One, it was a long time ago, and two, he's not profiting off of it anymore. He's clearly dead.
Right.
So,
look, I can separate.
I never approve, obviously, better not of things like that. But like, I see back in the day, that was the norm.
Yeah.
Not that it should have been. Not that it was ever right, and they should have known better. But it was 100+ years ago. He didn't know that was the wrong. Like his opinion was wrong. Nowadays,
no one taught him that he was wrong.
Yeah. The problem is when people are making money off stuff now and they're still going with the hate speech.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, like with JK.
Mm-hmm.
She's just this is going to make her some money, which is going to give her more money to make platforms and stuff and like trying to make laws and stuff against stuff like this.
Yeah, she just needs to stop. It needs to stop. But anyway, so for the Hogwarts Legacy, nothing that they're doing for the game, like any of the controversy has anything to do with those people. What?
Apparently there was a person, I don't know if he was in charge of something, he was in the studio, he made some very sexist comments.
Okay, well then I retract what I just said.
Well, he's gone now. Like after this
this was like a while ago?
Yeah, after this happened, this was earlier, and then after this happened, he stepped down and left.
Okay. Well, they're managing it.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. Yeah. But what I had read was mostly about...
Most of this is like a lot of these people are going in just because they love Harry Potter, like you guys.
Yeah.
Love Harry Potter.
And the people that are making this game are like mega fans.
Yeah.
Right? J.K. Rowling has literally no say in this game. Like she has no creative control
but it's
at all.
She's making probably some money off
it,
so that's why people are very conflicted about playing it.
Yes, but here's my larger take on this because I think it's kind of funny, not really funny, but it is a big F you to her if you feel this way.
Oh, is it the
fact that
character creation?
The character creation, yes. You can make a transgender character for Hogwarts. Yeah. So, my thing is...
It's a good little fuck you.
It's a good little fuck you to JK. Like, even, yes, she may be profiting from the IP itself.
And even if it's pennies, like, I know some people, like, when something like this happens, they don't want to support it all. Like, it's
right. No, I get that. And that's the large thing that's going on right now is that people don't want to, like, support anything with Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Because of what's going on and how she handles herself and what she believes in.
Yeah.
But, again, if... You really want to...
If you're going to say, hey, by the way, we're saying F you to her too, look. See?
Yeah, like, you can have your transgender character in Hogwarts Legacy, which I think is great.
Yeah.
Because not only does it give people, like, more creativity and, like, really be able to, like, really have what they want in a character and, like, what's the word? When they...
inclusivity.
Inclusivity, and they feel like they can have their own character.
Oh yeah, they can have it their way and make it, like
more to them, right? Like if they are transgender,
they can identify.
Yeah, identify. That's what it is. So they can identify a little bit easier with their character since they're being more inclusive, and I love that. Yeah. But it is also a great fuck you to JK, who doesn't even want it in her life
world,
and, in general. So to have it in her own IP, I just think is great.
Now I will say this though for everyone, I completely support if you feel very conflicted about this. You don't want to play the game. I understand.
Oh yeah, like you can feel that way.
That being said, don't give people a hard time who do want to play it. because they probably don't want to support J.K. Rowling, but they just want to support the developers and they like the universe.
Yeah.
Some people can separate stuff. Don't be like, oh, you guys must hate transgender people because you're playing this game. Come on now.
Yeah.
They're playing it because they love Harry Potter. Separate the things, but if you don't want to play it, completely understandable.
Yeah, I totally get that. If you really just want to just completely...
Because there's a...
like, my wife and I, who are huge Harry Potter fans, are not even supporting Fantastic Beasts. Like, we're not going to go see it at all.
Yeah, because of what happened with Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp and J.K. Rowling has a little bit to do with it.
She does,
thing. She has more creative control over that, but mostly the whole Johnny Depp thing.
They're not saying that.
Super slighted.
And guess what? That's good, but if you guys are going to be playing this game, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
So don't bust balls over the people who want to play the game, because they're more supporting the developer and the people who made the game. They're not...
Look, the people that made this game have nothing to do with her, and they like, from what I saw, they feel very strongly about this game and the way that they're making the world.
The way I see things, sometimes things evolve beyond their creators.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love Aliens and Predator and the whole universe behind that. A lot of the information and stuff didn't even come from the movies or the creator. So I'm not even a huge fan of, like, the Prometheus movie.
That could have been so much better.
Yeah, and the most recent Alien movie. He's trying to, like, retcon some stuff, Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, I go beyond Ridley Scott. His IP has moved beyond him. He can do whatever he wants in it. It's his technically, but I don't think Aliens and I don't think Ridley Scott should get the final say on everything. Same thing with, like, the Predator movies. The most recent Predator movie.
Because sometimes they're wrong.
Yeah. I mean... There's been so many people, if so many different people work on something, at a certain point it becomes a big conglomerate of a community item.
Yeah.
Same thing, that's how I feel with Harry Potter. There's so many people who want to work with things, it's just such a big IP. It's not J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter universe. It's now... Not
anymore.
Yeah, it's so much...
Well, especially when it's... Because, like, I feel like her big thing is Fantastic Beasts and, like, the Harry Potter, I'd say, like, saga.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like anything to do with Harry Potter and Hermione.
Right, but there's been so many fan things.
And the universe.
And the universe is, like, really blown up out of
yeah.
that. So, there's a lot more going on.
Yeah, so, like I said, do things the way you want. Don't hate on people unless they're, like, well, don't hate on people ever, but unless they're, like, out there with J.K. Rowling, agreeing with her and supporting her, then just push them to the side and you stay over there.
Yeah, they can fuck off.
Yeah. All right, now that we got the unpleasantries out of the way, how about we talk something a little more fun?
Yeah, something a little light on the soul.
What we do, because what we do is more fun.
Right.
We like to relax.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've been playing a lot of Gran Turismo, you said, or maybe not a lot, but you've been playing it at least.
Yeah, I've been trying to, I'm dabbling.
Have you been playing anything else or watching anything since we've last gotten together?
One game that I've been playing, and I'm not sure if I mentioned it or not, but it's a game called Triangle Strategy. It's on the Switch.
Is it out?
Yes.
Oh, you tell it's out. Yeah, it is.
Square Enix.
Out recently. I know me some Triangle Strategy.
Yeah, it's
that's on my list of games to play.
Very familiar to the Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah, the
and
grid style
yes,
RPG.
Which I think was like my first grid-based RPG.
Did you ever play Bravely Default?
No, I didn't.
Ooh.
Might have to be on my list.
I was about to say, if they come out with something for like the Switch for Bravely Default, if you like Triangle Strategy, you'll probably love Bravely Default.
Cool. I'll be watching for it. But it's also
actually no, I'm sorry, that's more of a turn-based RPG.
Oh, like
it's a turn-based RPG like old school Final Fantasy, but they have a system called Bravely Default, where the name comes from.
The name.
You either can choose to be brave and get an extra action in, but it also delays your turn. Or you
as default?
Yeah, or you default and like just wait.
Oh, I see.
Like you can take actions and like there's a little more to it, a little more nuances by doing the brave actions. And...
I'll take a look at it. I've heard of it.
It's very grindy though. Yeah, if you don't like old school Final Fantasies, the art style is the same. Like all Square Enix games, we talked about this when you saw the art style, and you were like, "Oh, this is a new Final Fantasy game." Is it when they showed like the splash during that state of play?
For which one?
That new grid-based game coming out during that state of play.
Dios Chronicles?
Dios Chronicles, you saw the art for it, and you were like, huh, is this...
Oh, yeah.
Because all their art is the same. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful art, but it's pretty goddamn...
Even the Triangle Strategy, when you see the art...
Yeah, they got a very...
The guy that I bought it from, he was like... The art style looks very familiar to, like, what is it, Octo Traveler?
Yep.
But yeah,
Octo Traveler, that was the other one I wanted to mention to you.
I heard good things about that. But I've been playing this one. I'm not super far in, and it's also like Fire Emblem in a sense where there are like a cast of characters, I guess. I know Final Fantasy Tactics. From what I remember, there were like a lot of characters you would get, but they weren't like main...
There's like a handful of main characters, and then you could get like hired goons basically. You could get the red mage and the...
As far as I've seen so far, and it hasn't been... I've only had like a couple hours logged into this game so far. Everyone that I've accrued have been like main people, but I'm sure there'll be some other people down the line that are not. But the things I wanted to talk about in this game is some pretty cool things that they're doing with I don't know how to describe it, but basically, you know how in usually any of those games, like the Final Fantasy Tactics and probably Bravely Default, when they're going through like their cutscenes and stuff like that, it's normally never voice acted, right? Yeah. It's just like the text, right? All their cutscenes are voice acted with the text. But what I really like about this is that they went the extra mile on a couple of different things that I hope that in the future more games do this. And I know some have done it, but this has been like to an extreme extent. Whenever somebody's talking, you can press X and it'll bring up a profile of that person, of who they are.
And remember like facts about them?
Yes, because in this game, it is very important that you know who is who.
And like who's tied to what.
Who's tied to what and what, like, because... decision making is very big in this game.
I heard about that. Yeah.
It will really impact the way that it is played, the characters that you get, and if characters will stay with you because of certain decisions that you make. But so that's really cool that they do that, and they also have a text log.
Yeah, that's a little more common,
game.
But yeah, that's
and I know that's always been there.
Oh, for the whole game.
Yeah.
Like,
so
go way back.
Last night when I was playing it, I was like, they're literally like, "Hey, so this is going to be your first decision that will impact your nation, for the rest of its, like its relationship with these people." And I was like, what decision? I like totally missed what they said, what my decision was going to be. And I'm like, you know what? I'll bring it back up once the log gets there, or like when the decision's there. Literally went to, after I like had paused it right there, the next part faded to black. And I was like, no! I don't know what he said. I can't go back. But while I was in like the main screen, you can still bring up the chat log.
That's
so
cool,
I was able to go through.
Usually they separate in most of those type of games. You can see it from the scene. You can go back and read the
normally.
but you can't go back further.
But now you can, like, so when I was looking for it, I even went even farther back to earlier scenes, and I was like, whoa, I went way too far. But not only that, did they make it so you can hover over the line that was said, and you can press it and get the voice acted line. Cool. And I was like, wow, this is really neat. I feel like they really took a lot of extra care for you, especially since it's a... Here's the other thing, too. It is a very story-driven game, and I'm going to tell you right now that if you're not willing to put in some time to, like, listen to the story and what's going on, you're gonna hurt yourself sometimes. And that being said, the beginning hours of this game is like a story dump exposition. Like,
here's info.
Is like 2 hours of like a bunch of cutscenes, and you get like one battle in between that. And at first I was like, especially since some of the like when you read in the game, like those normal games, you're never like, this is an amazingly written story. Like, some of the concepts are great, right?
Maybe you.
But what I mean, like,
I have played some stuff that.
But what I'm saying are like the lines that you read from these characters are very like people don't talk this way.
Maybe the games you've played.
Okay, maybe, but
no, but
some of it is like when you hear them do the voice acted line, you're like, oh
okay.
Lord.
Okay, friend.
Okay,
you talking like that, huh?
Yeah, this is very cookie cutter.
We gotta save the world. Everyone's got to come together and be friends.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not terrible. It's just very. It basically,
hearing it read out is a little different than just reading it,
right? And especially how like every anime like usually has like the first few episodes of world building, and instead of you being involved in the world, they just tell you everything.
Mr. Wise Old Man's gonna let us know about where demons come from.
Right, and that's exactly what happens here for like the first 2 hours, which is fine because I ended up they do a good job of you understanding each character very specifically, and that comes into play with your decision making later on. So I've been watching and listening to all of it. Like, I'm not skipping. What you can do, that's also another thing they let you do. You could just skip the whole scene. If you're just like, this is boring, skip. You don't even have to, like, go through the whole text. You can just hit skip, and it will completely skip the entire scene, which is great for people that just want to get to the gameplay.
Impatient people.
Yes. And I guess technically you could keep doing that until you get to a decision and just hit the log and then read what's going on, if you wanted to. So you could play it that way too, which is great.
If that's the kind, this isn't really a game for you. If you're doing stuff like that, should you be even playing this game?
If you're already interested in this type of game, you already know that you're gonna.
You know what you're in for.
Yeah. And that being said, it is very similar to those tactic games, but I like how it's almost like a hero shooter, where I feel like a lot of other games that I've played beforehand, it has to do with class-specific abilities, right?
Yeah.
Where this is character-specific abilities.
Okay.
Like, each character looks like they have their own set of skills that are doing, like... And one thing that's an interesting game mechanic, which I think is a little different from other ones that I've played, is... So, like, let's say you have a character in between you and another one of your characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
You actually will trigger something where basically that character that is on the other side of the enemy, like they're squished in between you, will do a move on top of it.
There is a few games I played. Maybe I'll hook you up with them one time. It's very anime-esque style game with the humor and stuff. It's called Disgaea.
Oh, I've heard of that, yeah.
They're very, very good. They're very long, and there's a lot of stuff like that where if like you got one teammate or two teammates on the side of you, depending on your relationship between the two characters, they'll involve themselves in attacks also and do crazier moves. It sounds like that.
Yeah, it's cool. And I've found like already it's like my tactics brain is like getting like set off because there's one character that has an ability to it's like her passive where she can attack twice, right? She can move once but attack twice. And then the main character gets a passive ability where his like if he's not the one that initiates the attack, but he does the I forget what they call it. It's like a counter attack or whatever, or like the buddy attack, right? He actually does more damage doing that.
Okay.
So if I can get my character that does 2 attacks and then have him be the one that's on the other side, it's like I'm doing massive damage because it's twice.
So you want to set your people up in specific ways and places.
Right. So like it's really tickling my fancy for a lot of those. Did you play
the old Tactics?
Final Fantasy Tactics? Yeah, that was
like for the PS1 or
Okay, so the first one I played was, I believe, on Game Boy Advance.
The Game Boy Advance Tactics, Final Fantasy Tactics.
I loved that one.
That's actually funny. I played the first one for the PS1, which
I have that on my phone, actually.
Yeah,
Did you know that? You can get it on your phone.
Yeah,
like the full game. It's great.
I liked it back then, but I was still young, so I didn't...
I'll tell you right now, the PS1 Final Fantasy Tactics is much harder.
Yes, it is.
Than the Game Boy Advance one.
The Game Boy Advance one, though, I was in Scouts at the time, and I am like I am now. I didn't like going out, but there was a whole, like a 5-day weekend that we were going on a hike/camping trip. I put in 100 hours during that period on the Game Boy Advance version.
Damn.
I started it before, like on the way to the trip, and then by the time I got home, I put in over 100 hours.
Holy crap.
I love that Tactics game. Final Fantasy Tactics Advance.
Final Fantasy Tactics for the Game Boy Advance and the Fire Emblem that came out for Game Boy Advance were like my 2 introductions to that style of gameplay. And ever since then, like I played the crap out of that not Final Fantasy. I did with that one too, but with the Fire Emblem.
I think you'd like this guy. I think there's a lot of like different tactics and abilities so that you can pick people up and throw them. So like, let's say an enemy's really far away and you have all your team next to each other. You can each pick each other up. Like, so you have a stack of your team, and then throw the stack forward and just keep throwing your people until your one guy lands way forward. Then he can attack. It's so much little things. You can pick up enemies and they throw them. There's certain enemies, if they're picked up, they explode if they're being held. So you like pick up an enemy so they'll explode.
Interesting.
Bunch of craziness. But it sounds like this is like the next step. They're trying a little more on the story aspect of it too.
Yeah,
with triangle strategy.
I'm interested to see where the story goes and like how integral, like what my decisions end up. Like I already know the one decision that I'm about to make right now. If I go to the one area, I will get an Ice Mage. But if I go to the other one, I'll get an Archer. Right? Like
well, one of those sounds a little cooler than the other.
Yeah. so obviously Ice Mage, but you know.
I'm just saying, a guy that can shoot. You got a Hawkeye, or you got someone who can actually use magic.
Yeah. So.
Just saying.
Kind of easy decision.
So
there.
you are enjoying that
so far? Yeah, I do really enjoy it, and the art style is
handheld mode or on the TV.
I've been playing it on the TV, and I like it much better on the TV.
Do you ever play your Switch handheld a lot, or
all the time?
Okay.
I played actually most of the Fire Emblem game handheld, believe it or not, because like I was usually playing that on the go.
I usually like playing it on the go, but like for stuff like Smash Brothers or like Mario Kart,
Smash Brothers
TVs,
can't be handheld.
yeah.
I can't do that.
I don't know what it is about it. I mean, I just prefer to have the Pro controller.
Well, yes,
like when I play
do
Smash,
too.
I use Pro controller. When I'm playing other stuff, I can use the handheld. But it feels weird playing Smash with the
Smash is like
handheld
it's
mode.
so like palm sweaty that I end up like the back of the
Switch gets all like
yeah.
greasy and wet and
and so I'm like I just can't do this. I'm gonna end up breaking my Switch. I'm like but yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to. Elden Ring, Gran Turismo, Triangle Strategy.
I've been I will jump on Elden Ring to play PvP now, or to get like a spell for PvP, because Jesse's on, friend of ours. He likes to play. He's very into PvP on Elden Ring, and I'll get on and play with him just because it's a lot better to have. If you play two people on the same side, two people can invade you because we like to pet the tongue. It's the only way to get reliable with people in. But you can usually get the crazy people who either cheat or like not cheat, but they want to be cheap. Building the bugs that get you one shot. So what you do is you have the host, and then you have someone come in as an opponent. That way, only one person come in at a time, enemy-wise, but it'll be constant.
Yeah.
So that's why I like to get on there, and it's way more manageable, and it's way more.
Because then you're not focused on having two enemies come at you at the same time. Yeah, because
a lot of people like to see that there's two of them and being like, "Hey,
right,
let's just go whale on this guy. Come on." But having fun with that. But I've only doing that a little bit. I've started going hard into Horizon again. And I will say this, as beautiful as Elden Ring is, man, when you play a game like Horizon, you realize just how much more beautiful a game like that is. Like, I loved Elden Ring. It looks good, but it's definitely an old engine running on there.
I definitely can't wait to get my hands on Horizon and actually start playing it. I'm pretty excited
so
for
many
that.
problems with it. Not gameplay wise, but like I'm going to do the main story. I'm like, all right, I'll go through this, and I keep stopping and doing. There's so much stuff scattered in the world, like leveling and.
That is an issue I have with open world games.
You're gonna have a big problem with this one.
I know.
I almost had more problem with this than in Elden Ring.
Well, Elden Ring, like I said, is organic, and you end up just stumbling upon things.
That happens in this one too. The problem is it gives you like, oh, here's a quest, boom, and you see it and you're like, oh, I just got this. I might as well go do this.
Yeah.
Or I like to do quests that are like equal level or lower to get them out of the way.
Yeah.
So I'll do I'll do the old lower, like the lower quest first, and then when you beat through them, you're like, all right. Then you keep getting more and more. There's an outpost here. There's tons of side quests, and they give you a skill point anytime you complete a quest. So it's like, oh,
incentivized.
Well, yeah. So there's just, it got to a point in the story where you got to do, all right, you can go here, here, or here. This is a level 17 mission. This is a level 22 mission. That's a level 24 mission. You can kind of pick, but by the time I was done doing all the side missions like that I was up to at that point, I was like level 28, and it's like I can do the level 17 mission, the level 22 mission, and the level 24. So I did one of them, and I'm like, all right, time to go to the next one, and then I just got a bunch of more missions. I still haven't gone through those 3. It's
a problem with open world games. Not that it's like a bad problem because there's stuff to do.
Yeah.
But my brain hates it.
Now, I know a lot of people like Elden Ring for the fact that it's very hands-off. Like, you just go wherever. I can take both. I enjoy playing both kinds of games where it's like, here's a quest log of a million things to do. Because it also keeps me, I can focus.
You know that there's stuff to do.
Yeah, I can focus on certain things. I can, like, keep track of, like, clearing whole areas out. I know a few times in Elden Rings I went back after playing, like, the second playthrough and been like, fuck, I missed this last time. I've also been playing Death's Door, which I talked about last time. Very Legend of Zelda-esque, which I'm going to have to play. Tunic also just came out recently. It's another game that's it's Zelda-esque, but it's also inspired by Mario Brothers. Where, like, remember in Mario, the old school Super Mario, you go over and all of a sudden you push down into a pipe.
Yeah.
And you're in a whole new area. You can skip a whole level ahead. They have a lot of like little secrets and stuff like that. And it's on Xbox Game Pass. So since I have Game Pass, it's just So I play.
I really hope that in the future Sony kind
Does
of jumps on
something.
that train for the Game Pass. 'Cause
Yeah, I mean, hopefully Spartacus will be something similar.
Project Spartacus or whatever they call it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like, I'm rumored right now it's going to be like PlayStation Plus.
PlayStation Plus, basically.
Yeah, it's PlayStation Plus, PlayStation Now included with PlayStation Plus is the second level,
Mm-hmm.
and then one above that's like even older games you get in there too.
Mm.
The middle one seems a
I
little
just
worse.
feel like they need to touch up PlayStation Now a little bit.
I mean, even if they just make it part of PlayStation Plus, like I think that'll be.
I think that would be nice, at least to have.
I actually
it.
played it recently. It's not bad.
It's gotten
they
better?
need more. So they need a little more variety, but I haven't had any problems with it.
Okay, I mean that's good to hear.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I don't. So Sony has to start losing pretty bad for them to all of a sudden decide, you know what, we're going to do something like that. I don't think they'll ever release like day and day like they did with Halo. Like, oh, day one, Halo
On
we
the
got it.
pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're big games. Like, you're not going to see Last of Us 3 come out and be like, oh, guess what? You get free day one.
Speaking
No.
of Last of Us, I really hope they come out with their multiplayer that they've been working on.
For me, it's, are they coming out with multiplayer first, or are they coming out with the remake of 1 first?
I'm
thinking
honestly,
one.
they're probably gonna have the remake of 1 first. I could be wrong, but it just seems
Because I
like
saw they were still hiring people for
the multiplayer thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I could say a lot about The Last of Us 2. Did you even ever finish it?
I got like 90% of the way, and I haven't.
Because I know you're close.
Yeah, I got to playing as the other character, and like I got halfway through, and I realized that it was going to be a whole long section, and I was like, I'll come back to this, and I never went back to it.
Okay, it's very
The moment I saw there was a whole separate line of collectibles, it's like the coin collectibles for her, and I'm like,
well,
oh,
the
they want
issue
me to
is that you
play
might
as
have a lot more game than you think you do.
it.
Like, it went on for a while, which is
I'll
part of
probably
the
have to go back.
problem.
I'll probably have to go back to that then. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
like-
moment I saw that it was going to not be just like a quick little flash over, I was like,
Well, you were absolutely right, Charlie, because they let you play as that character for a long time.
I got through a good
And
chunk of it with her.
Probably the most annoying thing for me is that there was a gameplay sequence in that game with her that was my favorite Last of Us experience, and I hate that it was with her.
Yeah, like it was back when she was younger, right?
No.
Oh.
There's a whole scene where I don't even know if you got to the other character that she finds, but there's like
No, not yet.
that you have a lot
At least
more
I don't
game
think so.
to go than I think you do.
I'll go back and try it out.
Because there's a sequence where she finds the character, and you have to kind of bring her home to like this island thing, or not even island. I don't remember exactly where it is, but it's a whole other group of people. And just going through that like broken roadway area was just a really cool sequence.
Yeah, I think I got to like a war was about to take place.
Okay.
And she got volunteered to go to fight in the war.
Okay.
Against the wolves, the wolves were going to fight the crazy tree people.
Oh, so you did meet them with the bow and arrows?
Yes, I met them. We're going to go to war. They were about to go to war. Like,
okay,
they were about to assault the island or whatever.
Okay. You still have quite a bit to go, to be
Okay.
honest. Not like I'm not talking like another like.
No, probably like 5 hours, 10 hours.
Maybe a little more than that.
Nah.
We'll see. If man, I could say a lot about that game. Gameplay great, absolute stellar gameplay. But I
Story
also
decisions.
yeah. I'm gonna toot my horn here a little bit because I went a little extra mile playing that game. I didn't kill any dogs. Like I set off in my head that I was because they said when this game came out or like while they were promoting it that you could choose not to kill dogs, and I did that. Except they force you to kill one dog. It's in a cutscene thing.
I hit him with a Molotov. I lit him on fire. Worst noise I've ever heard.
You know which one I'm talking about,
Yes.
right? Yeah. So I was a little upset about that. Upsetty spaghetti.
Oh, there was someone else I was playing with.
But I did pretty much the whole game without killing dogs. Just the one. That was hard. I had to skip whole parts.
Well, whatever. Poor choice on your part.
It made it more interesting.
Whatever. There was also one other thing I've been playing. It was something way different. It was an older game. Oh, Deep Rock Galactic. I started playing a little bit.
Say that again?
Deep Rock Galactic Dirge.
Oh, Deep Rock Galactic. Okay, yeah.
Because fun news, in April they're coming out with the second season. Mid-April.
Okay.
So next month,
Are there new guns?
Yes,
new maps?
they've already shown a bunch in cutscene, like they had little trailers for them. They're coming out with a bunch of secondary guns.
Ooh. Cool. For
like,
all the
little pistols.
classes?
Yeah, every
or-
class is going to get a secondary gun. And it's going to be
Sweet.
the next season, so it's going to have the whole, like...
I did feel like there needed to be another secondary gun.
Yeah.
Because the two that I had for the gunner were kind of meh.
They were all right.
For a gunner, they just didn't feel very impactful.
Whatever.
I'm just saying.
They were perfect as the way they were. But
Give me more bullets.
I'm getting ready for that, so I just played, like, every night, like, if it's too late and I'm like, do I want to get in Horizon? No, that's going to be a commitment. I'll be like, I'll play one round of Dirge.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm not doing that, I've been watching more Peaky Blinders.
Hell yeah.
Member of the Peaky Blinders.
And you're in what season now?
I am now in season 3. Or there'll be, I think, like, the second episode. They just got done getting married.
And this is the one with the Russians, you said?
This is the whole Russian subplot now, and...
Okay. I will tell you that this season that you're in is probably my least favorite. Not that it's bad.
Just a little slow.
It's a little slower paced than the other
More
ones.
mind games of a thing.
Yeah, like, it's not bad. Like, it's all relevant and it's good. It's just my least favorite out of the 5 that are out right now.
I'm enjoying it, though. I'm liking Peaky Blinders. I've been watching it, like, season chunks. Like, I'll watch a season, and then another season, and then...
I am glad that you got into it, because it's a stellar show. And then there's one more season coming out, I think. And
yeah,
then that's
season
the
6,
final
that
season.
should be the final season.
Yeah, and then they possibly might do a movie.
That'd be cool.
But I don't know.
Because I know you said the Kingdom's doing a movie, right?
The Last Kingdom.
The Last Kingdom's doing a movie.
Yeah, they're doing a movie to top it off, which I think is... I really like that move.
I'm trying to get through a couple things so that way I can start watching Mobius, or not Mobius.
Morbius?
Moon Knight when it comes out.
Moon Knight.
But we will be watching Morbius.
Yeah. April 1st. But we'll have...
We'll be seeing it on the 31st.
We'll be seeing it on the 31st, but we'll have the review up at least by
that
April
night,
1st.
if not, yeah.
If it's not up by that night, it'll be up the next day
yeah.
of. So
a little worried because it looks like they're not having a lot of showings of it, which is a little scary. Because
normally when we
go
go
to
Batman,
it's been a whole theater, like 20 showings that day.
Yeah, but I also feel like
5 in the whole
Morbius
day.
is not like their big name.
Yeah, but Venom 2 had plenty of showings.
Way more people know about Venom.
This is supposed to be in the same universe.
I'm
they're
just
all
saying.
tied together. He even
anyone
makes a Venom
on
joke
anyone
in it.
on the street, if you were to be like,
I don't know if you talk to any Spider-Man fan, you know who he is.
I'm talking non-Spider-Man fans, like just people who like I didn't know who Morbius was until this is coming out. I knew who Venom was.
That's because you're basic.
I know, I am basic, but this is what you're here for. You're teaching me. But what I'm saying is, the normies like me, who don't know anything, I knew who Venom was.
Even if you watch the old Spider-Man animated show, he was in that.
I didn't.
What is wrong with you?
I'm just telling you. This is the way things are.
Oh, it hurts.
Venom is super more well known than Morbius.
Well, of course, Venom's the best.
Right.
He's number 1.
But anyway, it is a little worrisome that there are like 5 showings compared to like 10 for the first day. So, or first night. Sorry.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. Sony has a on-off record.
Yeah.
It seems like lately they've been making a lot of like critically hated but fan-loved movies.
And
a lot of people didn't like Venom, or a lot of critics didn't like Venom, but fans loved Venom.
Yeah,
Or
for the
just
most part,
viewers.
Venom was great. I
Yeah.
think I had a little bit of an issue with Carnage because
Like,
there
a little
wasn't
more.
enough Carnage.
Yeah.
But that was like my my only thing. I liked like all the acting in it.
Yeah.
Just needed more Carnage.
And I do like that they, you know what? Spoilers. If you haven't seen it yet, I got nothing for you, Chief. In the most recent new Spider-Man movie, how they had the post-credit scene where Venom left behind a Venom in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
So now they could have technically 2 Venoms, which works out perfectly. If a lot of people, I know some people don't like that. This Eddie Brock is very not like in the comics. Like in the comics, he's very muscular, vengeance-driven, and this one's more of a goofball. So they could have both versions of Venom going at the same time.
Okay.
They could have the Marvel's Venom and Sony Venom.
Yeah,
so I do kind of like that.
That's kind of nice. They
Yeah,
have
so-
a little bit of play.
Yeah, get some
play with that.
That way you can get Tom Holland with the suit first,
Mm-hmm.
get the whole symbol and everything, and then move to Eddie Brock, like a different Eddie Brock. This
Yeah.
universe is Eddie Brock.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. So I am liking how they're setting things up. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully this movie's going to be good.
I have no hopes for it. Like, I'm just gonna. Well, what I mean by no hopes is like it's
No
a blank slate.
expectations?
No expectations. Yeah, maybe that's the better way to say it. I have no expectations for it. I have a very love-hate relationship with Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Like, some things he's done have been extremely good, but some of the things he does as a person,
Yeah.
I'm
They
sorry,
grind your
man.
gears.
Like, this YouTuber Drew Gooden brought up a point, that I now, after listening to it, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. If you're gonna be one of those actors that is, what do they call
Method.
that? Method acting. Some people
Take
are
it too
just
far.
method acting to be an asshole.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, but why is it that all the characters that people method act have to be assholes?
Yeah.
Like, you are not excused
I mean, it's not
for
always,
being a
but
piece of shit because you're gonna be in a movie.
yeah.
I'm sorry, but you can't treat people like that and expect them to be, oh, he's not actually Jared Leto. You know, like, I have a really big issue with what he did with the Joker
Mhm.
and how he was doing things like sending used condoms to people, and just generally being a degenerate on set to people. And
Yeah.
I have a huge issue with that because that is you just being an asshole. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. Like, there's no, and you didn't even play a good Joker. So,
Leto was okay. Wait, no, Leto, no, he was bad Joker. Yeah, I'm thinking Joaquin Phoenix. I was like, what are you
no,
talking
Joaquin
about?
Phoenix was
No, yeah,
amazing.
Leto's Joker. Yeah.
But Leto's Joker was
I
not.
do think he's better suited for this role than. The
Yeah,
other
yeah.
one.
Like I said, I have
He's
a
been in some
love-hate
good stuff,
He
yeah.
does good work. I just don't.
Actor, good. Person,
Meh. I just, like, there are plenty of other method actors that are not assholes.
Yeah, like they might be like in the moment, like on the screen they'd be that, but like when you get off,
Right.
you know.
Or they can at least, separate
Yeah.
when they're being an asshole to somebody.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just have a huge issue with that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. If it's good, it's good. Like, I'm not gonna hate anything he does automatically.
I don't have any expectations going in. I'm kind of just hoping for a B, C movie, like, just to sit enjoyable. I just want to enjoy it the first time I watch it.
Yeah.
I don't need it to be so good I need to go out and watch it again. I just want to enjoy it while I'm sitting there watching it.
Yeah.
Maybe hopefully it sets up something else in the Sony universe of the villains, because it's linked to Venom, and there's going to be a few other movies that are going to be in that vein.
Mm-hmm.
Because they even have, I kind of see, but it looks like the Vulture's in it. The guy who played Vulture.
Yeah.
He's Vulture.
What?
Like, that's him.
Interesting.
I don't know if it's an alternate universe version of him. I got to see what's going on with it. But if you watch one of the trailers, he's in it, and he's like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Didn't realize that.
Yeah, he's
Interesting.
in prison. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're gonna play more into the whole like multiverse of madness stuff. If it's a little more linked to Marvel, then
It does seem like they are starting to really play into that a little bit more.
It gives them more options. Like I said, with the Venom, something they can have two Venoms. They could have multiple things working. They can travel dimensions.
Also, I was gonna bring up the whole multiverse of madness thing. I had somebody talking to me about Bob, if you're listening. He was talking about how he wasn't a huge fan of them bringing in the X-Men into like the movies. He just thinks it's too much. Like, there's too many characters at that point.
Well, they're only probably going to show two of them. If
So
they're
you think they're
going
gonna cherry pick?
It's all. I guarantee. Oh, you know what? Nah, I'm feeling bold. I guarantee it's going to be Patrick Stewart, and if anyone else, Hugh Jackman, just for a quick show.
Okay.
Or like a profile. It's only going to be the two of them, and it's only going to be to set up mutants going into that universe, but it'll be a whole new cast.
Okay.
So they're going to obviously come out with new X-Men, or new Wolverine, new Cyclops. It's not going to be any of those old people. Like after this,
but that's what there's just so many X-Men characters that it really kind of just starts being too much if you add it to the MCU.
That's how it is in the comics.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
There's always been that many people. That's what you get. An excellent going to be crossover, because I'm guaranteeing it's coming eventually. There's an excellent storyline: Avengers versus X-Men. It was, and then some of the X-Men that flip-flopped on the side. They had to flip-flop on sidelines. Who was on what side? Because there was a whole big thing with mutants, and they went to war with each other. You're going to have that later down the road. They're not going to introduce them all at once, I don't think.
That does actually sound like an interesting way to go with the whole phase, whatever they're in.
Yeah,
What is it?
I think it'll be after, because this is the space phase.
Okay.
So there's going to be a lot more space cosmic stuff, which leads more into Fantastic Four, because Fantastic Four is going to be involved in eventually too.
So they're going to restart that up again?
Yeah, I think Galactus. Well, this will be Marvel now.
But this time they have to nail it.
Yeah,
they absolutely have to nail.
Well,
this.
It's not that hard with what they're going up against.
Well, what I mean is, like, Fantastic Four has tried.
Marvel doesn't even need to try though. Like, that was always Sony. So, and a lot of times,
yeah, I guess.
And a lot of times, Sony did it strictly so they wouldn't give up the licensing.
So they're like, okay, well, you're gonna relinquish these rights if you don't put a movie out.
If you don't make a movie out by this time, they're like, okay, they try something.
Okay.
So, I think right now they're doing what's his name? He was in Loki. The villain, it's I forget. Go watch Loki. You'll find out at the end. The villain. He's the big bad of this phase, the space phase. I think after you're going to either get Galactus or one step beyond. So I think they'll introduce Fantastic Four and throw Galactus and the Silver Surfer in there. But X-Men, I think this movie, it looks like a lot of it is based off the House of M, which is a very big storyline with Scarlet Witch, which we talked about during the trailer. There's a lot of parts where it looks like people are looking like they're in cubes, which was a famous cover of House of M.
Okay.
And it reintroduced more like mutants into the universe with House of M. So I think that's how they're going to introduce mutants in there. But I don't think they're just going to be like, all of a sudden, bam, all the X-Men exist. I think we're going to get slow rollouts of the X-Men, like a Cyclops movie, a Gambit movie.
Okay. So it won't be too much.
They're not going to be like, here's 30 new characters in your show.
Okay.
They'll be like, here's 5, and then here's a new one. Here's one more here. Like, they'll add one at a time.
Okay.
But I think they'll eventually move towards a X-Men versus Avengers like style. I think they're going to roll it out fine. With Fantastic Four, it's not hard for Marvel. They just need to follow it slightly, and bam, it's way better than anything else that existed.
And look, if you're right, you heard it here first.
Yep. Like I said, you watch. I'm betting now. But a little sooner than that, Moon Knight is on the 30th.
Right, and that's going to be on Disney Plus, right?
Which I'll have to renew my subscription.
I think they do episodes per week.
That's what you're telling me. I hope not, but you're probably right.
Because that's what it was for Mandalorian.
We might have to watch an episode a week then. And
that might be easier for us to do an episode a week, which means you'll be getting a lot.
Like more bonus episodes like you kind of got with some of the other stuff.
Mm-hmm. You'll kind of get the breakdown of each episode a little bit. You'll be able to talk about a lot more of it than I can, and I'm just like, it was alright.
I'll be like, that was a reference. That was a reference. That's a reference.
Yeah, and I'm like, just soaking it all up like a wet sponge, Charlie.
But yeah, that's technically the same night. That's the 31st.
Yeah, those are all.
Or it's the day before.
So yeah.
So I guess we could watch it like the day we record on the 31st.
Yeah, we could probably do that.
Okay, and then, jeez, man, I'll probably have to come over earlier that day.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Okay.
So we're looking forward to Moon Knight. Gonna see Morbius. These are both coming out next week, right?
Yeah, and we're probably gonna all this stuff coming out tonight. I'm gonna get Ghostwire Tokyo because I've been looking forward to it. I know there's been some ups and downs. The people are all over the place with it. They love it. They hate it. They're middle of it.
Yep.
People I can't get a clear answer one way or the other on this game, so I'm just gonna play it because I play me some games.
Yep, and you'll probably finish it pretty quickly. So you're gonna do Ghostwire Tokyo,
and we're also going to do a playthrough of Tiny Tina's Assault on Wonderland.
I think it's Tiny Tina's Wonderland or something.
I keep getting mixed up. Yeah, no, the Assault on Dragon Keep was the DLC.
Yeah. All you need to know is we're gonna have a Let's Play of the new Borderlands Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
Yeah, we're gonna make our characters, which is cool. Little addition I hadn't seen. I tried to keep radios. A lot of games I like to try to not look too much into. I'll watch a few early trailers, and maybe the one just before. But I didn't know until today that you could make the whole character creation. It's like making a tabletop model.
I'm pretty excited for that. This is the first time in Borderlands that you can do like
your own character and your own class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this will be really interesting.
You could have the JJ character and the Charlie character.
That's right.
So that seems like a fun little Let's Play. We both love those type of games. Borderlands have always been good. 2 is always still going to be my favorite. I like the gameplay of 3. The story was okay. I didn't mind it as much as other people, but
I really wish I didn't rush through that game.
Yeah, we'll take our time with it.
Yeah,
I'm not going to rush you.
Okay. So yeah, we'll be throwing that on the YouTube. And what's the YouTube there?
The YouTube is Topadoes Media Junkies.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so look us up on YouTube. We're gonna throw Let's Play up there. I think the first one being the Tiny Tina's.
Yep.
And then we'll
probably
go through
throw
that.
some more videos up. We're gonna have other stuff popping up every once in a while.
Yeah, we'll throw some other stuff up on there.
We might even start making these podcasts and throw them up on there, and then have some videos so you can watch just of us playing some
Charlie
stuff.
had the idea of us throwing the podcast onto YouTube with some just random gameplay stuff that we have, because we play a bunch of things together. A lot of times it's like it'll be PvP stuff.
Yeah, stuff that like normally we wouldn't make a video about, but still to entertain you.
We could have stuff like we'll have Elden Ring, Hunt, Overwatch.
Just stuff that we play.
Stuff that you don't really need to worry about what the hell we're doing other
Yeah.
than there's just stuff
enjoying
going on.
yeah.
So it's like you'll have interesting
Keep
background
that
video.
Keep that ADD mind of yours
That's
going.
right.
A lot of little eye, boom, boom, action.
So
boom.
if you want to, you can like watch it at the same time while
Yeah,
listening.
so if you're not much of a podcast person, you don't want to sit down on the couch and listen to all the time or drive, you can sit down and watch it, a little something.
Watch it while they're driving.
No, if you know what? Yes. I'm telling you to watch it while you're driving.
Okay, no. That's a no. We're not telling you to watch it while you're driving.
Oh, okay.
Cut
I get
that there right now.
We're not telling you to watch it while you're driving.
No,
but
I'm really saying don't watch while driving.
I get it. Don't watch it, guys, while you're driving.
Listen to me, people. Don't watch while driving. Listen to our podcast.
And then watch it when you're not driving.
When you're home, you can watch it.
Wink. But yeah, so we'll be doing that.
Yeah. How fast the episodes come up, I'm not sure, but be sure that we'll be consistently
once
playing
this starts rolling, we'll see how things go. This will hopefully be, we'll start rolling things out once things start going smoothly. Because once we're able to do a few things, it'll become more second nature, like the podcast. These are going smoother and smoother every time we're doing it.
Every time. And this is the first one, right? Give us a little bit of time. I know there's a few of you out there. I love you.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching.
Yeah.
We hit over 100.
I mean,
Appreciate
listening.
everyone.
Soon they'll be watching.
Yeah, watching and listening.
Yeah. But we appreciate every single one of you. It's amazing. So thank you for listening.
There was another game, wasn't there?
Kirby's and the Forgotten Lands.
Which your friend who plays Nintendo, he's probably gonna be playing that, right?
I'll have to ask. But yeah, if he does, I'll let you know, and then maybe we could have somebody else come on here and talk about some games maybe that we just don't have time for.
Because so much stuff's coming out, man.
There's so much stuff, and we have a lot of other people that either play or like know a bunch of things, and we might have a few guest people on here that talk about things that we haven't gotten to, or something that's just really interesting that they know a lot more about than we do. So, stay tuned. We'll let you know.
Now, real quick, Games Developer Conference, GDC.
Say that again?
There we go, GDC,
Okay.
Game Developer Conference.
Okay, what is that?
I just keep messing up the acronyms. It's a lot of like game developers go and they get to show them different things from different companies and they get to show their stuff. It's happening the 22nd to the 25th, so it's either just about done or it's...
Well, it's about to be done.
It's just about to be done. I think it's to the 25th. Either way, there was talk that they showed the PSVR 2 there.
Okay.
And I'm jealous.
What have you heard?
Like, they have the actual unit.
Rumblings of like how they feel about it, or
I've heard nothing but positive things.
Okay. What
was the game? There's a game that starts with an F, not Fractured. I'll show you a trailer after this. I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
It looks really good. It looks like a whole different, like, very high quality graphics. It's the second confirmed game for PSVR 2.
Okay.
But they're also sending out dev kits now, and this is the time where I'm like, if they have a fully playable one and they have dev kits, it's either going to be end of this year or early next year.
It's already ready to go.
Yeah, I think they said they want to wait for a few more systems to come out, but I don't care. Just release it. I'll buy it.
A few more what to come out?
Systems.
Oh,
PS5s.
okay. Gotcha.
They want a few more PS5s in people's hands before they come out with it. But
okay.
No, I shouldn't say F them. It's not their fault they can't get a PS5. But I want the PSVR 2.
Yeah.
I want it so bad.
I know.
I've always loved VR.
We're slowly creeping up on how I want a home version of a VR to be.
I just want more.
I want it all.
It's such a great medium, and it looks like they're starting to not keep it gimmicky. It's starting to be... I was really worried they were going to drop it after the first VR did okay.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were going to just be like, eh.
But now they're leaning in.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Hard.
I want it.
Like, it looks like this might be one of those VRs to actually be a competitor to... what's the best one right now? Like, is it the Quest 2 or no?
A lot of people, just ease in use and just no wires or anything. The Quest 2 is pretty high up there right now. There is some other ones, but they're more expensive, or there's ones that are...
Because there's, like, Oculus, Quest 2...
and there's some more, like... I know there's the Facebook with the Meta one coming out. I forget what it's called, but...
But I do think that this PSVR 2 is going to be something to rival all of those.
And the reason I'm saying release it is because you don't want to have waiting and have them release better ones before you release yours because you wanted to wait.
You want to be the first better one.
Yeah. So that way people all... That'll be the best time. If they hear yours is the best, a lot of people will buy it up. And then when a better one comes out, whatever. But if you wait, a better one comes out, and then you release yours, it's like, well, that one's not as good, so I'll just get the better one. So I understand there's not a lot of PS5s out there, but guess what? I'll buy it from you. JJ will buy it from you. That's two sales right there.
Isn't that enough?
Yeah, that should just right there, boom.
And hey, you want to set us up?
Oh yeah, I will say all the nice things about you.
Yeah, but that's cool. I am excited to see that they're really starting to get this moving.
It's rolling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, I was really just hoping for more. I'm hoping that they have a big, like, not state of play, but what's the other one? Showcase. I hope they have a showcase soon. Usually they sometimes have one in July/December. I want to see what some other studios are working on right now.
Yeah.
Because Insomniac's carrying them on their goddamn back right now. Between Spider-Man,
with the
Wolverine,
big sales, at least.
Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Ratchet and Clank. Come on now. What? There's Blue Point Studios. You working on a Bloodborne remake?
Yeah, that right.
Just tell me.
Your Demon Souls was looking real nice.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind playing my favorite Souls game again.
Most people's favorite Souls game.
Sony owns you, so you couldn't really. Dark Souls wouldn't make sense, but Bloodborne, that's an exclusive piece.
I know they always said they're not going to, but I almost feel like that's just like a bold-faced lie.
Yeah.
Like they're like, no.
They didn't say they weren't.
No, they've said that they didn't want to do like a sequel. They didn't want to do like whatever.
Well, no, they're not doing a sequel. They're remaking the first.
Oh,
Blue Point. Blue Point is Blue Point.
But this was pre Blue Point.
Oh yeah, but that's from software.
Yeah, that like a while ago.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that they used to be on the mindset that they're not going to do that, but now if they can outsource it, then it might be a little bit more of a pitch for them.
Just do it. Blue Point.
Look, just do it and you'll make money. It's fine, easy peasy.
I just want to see a good showcase. It doesn't have to be stuff that's coming out. It doesn't have to even have dates. I just want to see more stuff. Show me Final Fantasy VII Part 2. Show me new IPs. Show me the rumored Sly Cooper / Infamous stuff, if it exists. Show me a new Silent Hill. Buy from Konami.
I'm just worried that Sony is just gonna take an L for the year and then come back hard next year.
An L. Come on now.
Well, I mean, as in acquisitions and stuff like that. Like Microsoft is making big moves.
Yeah, but these are big moves for the future.
Yeah, but they're doing it now. Like they're stirring up a lot of pot with they're getting people excited for Microsoft.
Yeah, but until I actually see some stuff and when it starts actually rolling out, my big thing is Starfield has to deliver big.
They absolutely.
Because if they stumble out of the gate, it doesn't matter how great your acquisition is. Guess what? I think it'll be good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I hope this, and I don't think it, but it's got to deliver. Especially with how good Elden Ring was.
Yeah,
it's gonna be. They got put in a tough position because if they come out with a if they come out with a Skyrim in space and don't change too much around, it could be pretty rough for them.
I did recently hear, I didn't actually listen to it, but Todd Howard was apparently talking about
he was talking about
recently and how they were changing some things up.
I do like that he used some funny terminology. He was talking about like different factions and stuff you can join and like your decisions. You could be a space narc, in his words, and rat out pirates or join the pirates depending on your allegiance.
Interesting.
I don't know what about space narc.
Space narc.
So great.
I actually love that. That's great.
But like I said, I got my Xbox One with my Game Pass. I'll be playing it first day.
I'll probably end up getting Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, I can always bring it over here.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I just, like I said, they gotta come out swinging, and then I'll get a little more hope for all of their future acquisitions.
If Sony can come out with the PSVR 2 this year, I think that would be a really great move.
It's something unique enough for them. Like Xbox isn't doing anything with
because what I feel like what's happened is they've like preloaded the year with like these great like games.
This year for Sony is wild.
I know.
We got the Horizon. We had Gran Turismo. A little bit of stumble there. Possible God of War.
Possible. But like even just having those two should have been great, right? But one kind of flopped. Not that it did. Gran Turismo is still like great. It's got a big issue right now.
They got some problems. They
gotta fix that. If they don't, I think they're gonna really, really suffer.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Gran Turismo is one of those games where it's not reliant on the initial bubble sale, but it is reliant on that's why I'm going to get the console. I want to play this game that I've like known and loved forever for
Yeah, you
Sony.
buy the Gran Turismo game for the name, usually.
Exactly.
So if you're hearing all of a sudden the name's tarnished, guess what? You're not buying that game
It
anymore.
kind of creates a little bit of a disappointment that they did this to you, and now you're hesitant on wanting to buy a PS5, which will affect sales for the PSVR too.
If you could buy it.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a snowball.
And they just need to... I know it's hard. Just no 5's even on this. Anthony's still waiting for a PS5.
No, I know. What I'm saying is, like, I guess if this was, like, a regular time where you could, like, just pick up a PS5 whenever you want, it's still affecting people's decisions.
Yeah. And I, like me... well, even let's say I would enjoy I mildly enjoy racing games. I hearing this, I'm like, I'm not picking up that game until they fix that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Because like normally people will rely heavily on the bubble sale.
Yeah.
But this game is supposed to carry them throughout the PS5's
their
existence.
main titles. Yeah, it's their
like
one of their flagships.
It would be one of those games that literally is attached to every single bundle.
Yeah, like it'll be like, oh, comes with Gran Turismo, or
right.
like get Gran Turismo best-selling PlayStation game Gran Turismo.
Right. So the fact that there's been some controversy around it, I think, is going to affect them if they don't fix it quickly.
But yeah, I just really want another showcase. Give me an Xbox showcase. Give me a Nintendo. I mean, it's been a little while now since it, but the Nintendo Direct where they had all the different games coming out and they showed everything with the Mario Kart. They had Xenoblade Chronicles 3. They had
I love
Strikers.
Nintendo Directs.
Yeah.
Because they always hit you with like a bunch of different things that they're going, and I think they have a lot of fun.
But they usually set up like their stuff, like Sony and stuff like that with their showcases are just to show little things. Nintendo Directs, I feel like, are setups for the year. Like, so for this year and the rest of the year, check all this shit out.
Which I kind of
I want from Microsoft and Sony. Just I don't care if it's like, here's the next 4 years, and then they just names of games. Just show me some stuff coming out that I can look forward to.
Kind of like even how Marvel presented the next phase of things that they're doing.
Just give me a splash with a bunch of titles.
Right. Don't need to know anything about them.
I don't need dates. I just want to know what things are coming. If you tell me all of a sudden, like, it's not going to happen, but if you were like, all of a sudden, hey, guess what? Sony got Mega Man Legends, a new one of that. I'd be like, oh shit, and they're like, it's coming 20 years from now. I'm like, oh, that's fucking cool.
I don't care, I'm still excited, hype sauce.
Exactly. I just want to see like some nice title flashes, maybe some gameplay.
That'd be nice to see that.
Don't get me wrong, like we said, we've been talking about, there's a lot of games coming out. I just like to know there's going to be still stuff coming out. I just want stuff to be excited about. I don't know.
Let me know I'm going to have a little steak for dinner later, you know?
You know, I like steak with my hamburger. I'm having a delicious grade A hamburger. But, if you got some more hamburgers that you're going to tell me I can eat in 2 weeks, or maybe a year, I'll be happy.
Still be happy. What was the other thing? Oh, the other big news that came out, well, I say news, but everyone kind of assumed this was happening. But, The Witcher.
Oh, yes, the new Witcher. They announced our next saga in the Witcher series.
Yeah, which they've stated it is not The Witcher 4.
Yes, it's a whole new chapter of Witcher.
Right. And there's one thing that they also stated, they're moving away from their Red Engine to using the Unreal Engine 5.
Which looks fantastic. I don't know if you played the Matrix little...
I didn't play, but I saw it. I watched the gameplay of it.
Shame on you.
I know. I just don't have time.
It's beautiful. It's a demo!
I know. I just still don't have time. What am I going to do? I watched the gameplay of the demo. Why would I play it myself?
I'm taking away an hour of your sleep from you, and you can play it there.
I'm just saying, I watched the whole goddamn thing.
Either way, it's beautiful, so Witcher in that will probably be more beautiful.
Yeah, and I think them using that engine kind of opens some things up.
Oh, but this is a warning for you. Finish your game. Make it amazing when it comes out. You need
it
for this game to come out done and beautiful.
This is not a threat.
If this comes out like Cyberpunk did, you will be in trouble. I have confidence.
Yeah.
That was a stumble. Hopefully the higher ups, I know it wasn't the people making the game itself. I'm sure they didn't want to release a half-finished game. I'm sure it was whoever higher up was like, nope, pump that shit out.
Get it out now.
Yep.
Yeah. And they're still working on the Cyberpunk game.
It's getting better,
they're making better moves for it.
But they marketed that shit as like a game that you've never seen before.
I really wish that game had come out with like full expectations.
Yeah.
Not maybe full, but like most of it. where like this isn't like a good product.
Yeah, I mean, if it was finished, that would at least be something. It would be it's not as good as we hoped it was, but at
Because
least it was an amazing.
I think that would have slapped. That'd have been like, oh hell yeah, this is pretty different, but I like it.
You can't release broken games anymore.
But everyone is.
I was about to say, I keep saying that, but they aren't. Except when you get games like Elden Ring, making you guys look like fucking idiots. Which,
well, even that had things that weren't finished, but it was
that
least...
was finished. I mean, there was a few things that were broken, or
right.
not.
There was legit things that were not finished though, like some quest lines.
Like they were there. There was just some coding messed up.
Yeah,
they were finished.
Well, the thing is, that game was good enough.
You can't compare.
No,
the two releasing.
The actual game was good.
Yeah, the base game, everything was workable. There was a few things that they touched up, which they did in a nice huge patch. We fixed it. 1 week down, 2 weeks down. Here you go. Fixed all that shit.
So, word to the wise, CD Projekt Red. Take your time. Finish your game.
People love Witcher, so...
If you fuck this up, you're not coming back.
Especially with JJ. Big Witcher fan.
I'm a huge Witcher fan. And
books, movies, show.
All of it. I need it all. I want it all. But
I like CD Projekt Red, because they're always coming out with stuff like putting thank yous in their game. Like written thank you notes in their games to be like, we appreciate you choosing us.
And I can't wait to play The Witcher 3 when it gets its big PS5
next gen. Oh yeah, the next gen update.
Yeah, their next gen update. I think that's gonna look so fucking good. That's what I'm waiting for to replay it. I'm super excited. So take your time, please. Don't fuck this up.
You and Mass Effect, the next one.
Oh,
take your time on that too.
I swear to God, Charlie.
Andromeda, I played. I didn't mind. The problem was when it first came out, it was absolutely terrible with the animations. It released not.
That's like another one of the Last of Us 2 type situation where I felt the gameplay of Andromeda was some of the best it's been. Some of the best Mass Effect gameplay that I did. I had an issue with the type of enemies that there were, being that there were very little of them.
Yeah, there was 2 new races basically.
I didn't like that there was only 2 new races. That was a big problem for me. Yeah. I felt like because
they probably would have expanded even more if their game kept going.
Right. It's just that
that shit
I was so used to the other maybe it's because I was used to already having this big world of different races, and they're like, what are we gonna do, make 10 other races? Yes. And I would have been like, yeah, please do that.
You're in a whole different solar system. Yes, please.
I don't want to go to 5 different planets and have the same goddamn race.
Yeah. Now, I'm a heavy apologist for Mass Effect Andromeda. I didn't mind the story as much as other people did. I felt like it got the Legend of Korra treatment, where they tried to judge it. Hey, let's look at this old Mass Effect game and base it directly on that.
I also felt like big things that were a problem for people were directly at the beginning that people just didn't move past. And I like Andromeda. It's just that some of the issues for me were
I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't as good as the story as the first one.
Yeah.
Our first trilogy. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
But I was enjoying it as its own separate thing. But when you have facial animations where they look like they're trying to
But that moving forward for Mass Effect, again, don't release a broken
rush
game.
it.
Take your I will wait another 10 years for you to make a good. Maybe not 10 years, but
as long as you put your time into it, and this is more for you bastards up top. Don't you rush these people,
please. You just make more money with a good game. I don't understand why they don't get that.
Yeah, but they want their money now.
So greedy.
Recoup those losses.
What is the from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? I want it now. No.
Just let the teams.
You will make more money in the long run if you release a good game. It gets proven time and time again.
Oh, because then you also
how many more times we got to teach you this lesson, old man?
So have you know a lot about Xbox stuff coming out, or you haven't been keeping as in touch?
Unfortunately, because I've been so out of the loop with Xbox not having it for a while. I haven't
really been looking into it.
Other than the acquisitions that they've been making and how happy I am.
Have you seen that they're coming out with new Perfect Dark?
No.
Yes, they're actually coming out with a new Perfect Dark, but there's been some problems.
Okay.
So
always problems.
The studio that they made for it was very lofty ambitions. They were like, these are gonna be triple. They're gonna focus only on focus hard. I think it's called The Initiative is the name of the group, and it was quadruple A games. And it's very lofty. You can go in this studio and you can use your imagination, do whatever you want. And they started doing Perfect Dark, and they brought in another studio to help because I don't know if things were taking too long, and a lot of senior staff left from the initiative.
Oh,
so it's causing a lot of people to be afraid of what's going on there. Seeing a lot of big people leaving it, but I think that's strictly because people went on with the idea that they could just do whatever they want. And right now, on one hand, that kind of sucks because if you go into a place thinking, oh, you can do whatever, and then all of a sudden someone tells you, no, come on, rein it in a little bit. Well, it's not what I was fucking told when I got hired. But I hope that it comes out good because I love the Perfect Dark for the 64.
Mm-hmm.
The 361, I could take it or leave it. Wasn't a huge fan of it.
Xbox 360?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It wasn't that great. But I had unpopular opinion, hot take. I liked Perfect Dark better than 007 GoldenEye.
There's a lot of people that feel that way. It's not even hot take at this point. There's a lot of people that feel that way.
It's not that it was bad, GoldenEye. I just think it was a step in the right. It's an evolution.
They came after GoldenEye, right? Yeah. So
and there was bots.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the story was better. The whole being like, all right, you're a secret agent. All of a sudden, what the fuck? There's aliens, and then there's like, I love the wild and craziness turns it took, and I think that you could make a really good game nowadays with that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that they just put their time. Like the follow-up one didn't feel like it lived up. And I was really excited when I heard that they're coming out with a new one. Imagine like a James Bond-esque.
With aliens.
Yeah, with aliens. And like secret agents, espionage shit. Would love it. But this has got me a little scared with all their...
anytime I see people leaving in droves...
Yeah, it's more of a... He left. A few months later, he left. What's going on here? They're popping off. It's not all at once, but it's like...
Okay, because if there's like a bunch of people that like walk out at the same time...
Yeah, no, it wasn't...
Like, something's going on here.
Now, the biggest problem is, this is one of the studios they made, and this is what we talked about, take your time and come out with something good, and this is first impressions are everything. They hyped up this studio pretty good. So, if they come out with Perfect Dark and it's not great, it has to be at least very good.
Nail it, guys.
Yeah,
Stick the landing.
Time,
Just take your time and make a good goddamn game, please. But
you
know that they're going to be riding their ass.
Oh, yeah. The thing Microsoft, what they're good with, when they buy studios, they're like, you take your time, make your game, we're not going to ride your ass. Release when you want to release. You're not being budgeted, or you're not being like, this has to be released by this time. Microsoft takes a step back, which is good, but this is one of those situations that kind of got to step in a little bit and be like, you kind of are poster golden child, showing that we can do this.
Yeah.
We can make those exclusive games. We got to watch you a little bit.
How you doing, champ?
Because I'm
like as they like walk in, big guys like, how we doing, champ?
How we doing, bud? You aced that test? You guys doing good?
You want to play catch?
You finished that science project? It's looking good, right?
Are you winning, son?
No pressure. Are you winning? But I love the whole step back because then you don't get stuff like...
Yeah, no.
But you also do need to kind of keep an eye on them.
Microsoft can at least afford time.
Yeah.
Because they are such a big company that makes so much money that they're not beholden to specific avenues. They like just kind of gobble everything up. And they're like, all right, who's going to be making us money this year? You know what I mean? Like, they have that kind of ability to do that.
Yeah, I just hope, take your time, guys. That's for everyone. All these companies, take your time. Have fun. Do what you love.
Make it good.
But just do remember, there's a lot more job opportunities now for games, so treat your people good, too.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
Because you want
treat your people well.
I feel like what keeps happening is like all the best people of companies keep leaving those companies. Like the people
it's usually the veterans / people who've been there for a long time and they'll all of a sudden leave. And that's what scares you. Even if it's they said it's just creative reasons. They don't like the way they said their idea for the game and the way the game's going. Like for Perfect Dark is not the way they wanted, so they left.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. It's when you get creative people leaving, they're like, yeah, the way that game's turning out. We're just going to go work for these other people.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, I also learned, remember how Stalker 2 got delayed because of everything that's going on in Ukraine?
Yeah.
So, apparently they moved their company from Kyiv to Prague.
Oh.
So, obviously still delayed, and they've got a lot of work to do, and like, trying to stay safe and do everything they can. But they did move their headquarters.
Okay, that's good.
From Kyiv to Prague, as I heard. So, we'll see what happens with that. They'll probably be saying some things in the future, what's going on. But yeah, that's all I really can...
Yeah, I don't think we got too much more for this episode. We'll have more once we play all these games that are coming out.
I know. You'll be hearing from us next week.
Or even like maybe a video or two might go up during this week, so keep an eye out.
Yeah, Tiny Tina's. Episode 1 playthrough. Let's go.
Once again, if you ever need to reach us, we've got the email.
TopadosMediaJunkies@gmail.com.
Or we now have Twitter.
Hell yeah.
Let's calm down there.
I'm just trying to hype it up. I'm trying to feel good about it.
Twitter. Ugh.
Hit us up on Twitter at TopadoesMJ. Hit us up. Be our best friend. We're still asking for somebody to respond to us. The first person who tweets at us will be our best friend forever. You will we'll do something. Like, I don't know what we're gonna do. But whether we have your name somewhere like hidden in the background when we start doing videos.
Have you plaqued
but your name will go down in history for us. Like, we'll never forget it. Just be the first one to tweet at us.
Yeah, just hit us with something.
Just hit us up.
We'll even we're gonna be making a few more things. YouTube, like we said, we're gonna have that Topadoes Media Junkies.
Hit us up on YouTube too. We're gonna have the Let's Play up on there. We might start adding the podcast on there as well.
We're gonna make a Facebook. We're gonna start expanding.
A lot of things are rolling.
Little things we're working.
We're only in our first month here, so we're trying to.
Month 2 now.
Oh, second month now.
Yes,
forgive me.
Midway through second month, sir.
So
time's flying.
Time is flying. So we're still budding, okay? Right. So we're not gonna. We're just doing things on our own time because
it's Topadoes time.
On Topadoes time, that's right. So
we're gonna get some magic rolling. You're gonna keep an eye out.
Yeah. And, if you got things to say, hit us up at any of those things. Please rate our show on any of the platforms that you find our podcast on.
Give us some stars.
Leave us a review. Please let us know what you're thinking.
Yeah, I just want to know what more you guys want to see / want to hear / anything. I just want to know what you guys want.
Yeah, like, what do you want?
What do you guys like?
Do you like us? Do you like me?
Please love me.
Please love me.
But yeah, I think that's it for now, though. That's enough groveling for once.
Yeah, that was our first, big, follow, subscribe for realsies.
Hit the bell, ring,
all those things.
Twitter buttons, heart, repost.
Oh yeah, let's get an Instagram up on there.
What's all the big buzzwords?
Should we
share, subscribe?
Hit the bell for notification.
Hit the bell for notifications. That's one, yeah. And then
we don't have a Patreon yet, so we can't do that.
This is embarrassing. Let's just leave here.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.